Vicky here with you, and today I want to do some postcards and use my stash. So the reason why I'm deciding to do postcards this week instead of regular cards is, first of all, I've done a lot of regular cards recently. Second of all, because I will be doing a giveaway for my 5,000 subscribers, and it's coming very soon if it hasn't already been done, because I was only... Today is Sunday, and I'm only 3 away from 5,000, so who knows, maybe I've reached it by now. So in order to participate in my giveaway, you need to send me, well, one of the ways to participate and get the big prizes is to send me an handmade postcard. Now, I use on my postcards, I use a stamp that I purchased, and you can find it on my Amazon list of favorites. But you don't have to do this. You can just handwrite postcard and put the address and put a stamp, or you don't even have to do any of that. You can just put the address and a message in a stamp. So just in case you guys are wondering and saying, oh, well, I don't have the stamp and so I can't do it. Yes, you can. And I'm just using regular cereal box cardstock that I've cut down to 4 by 6. So I find that this is a really good size to send in the mail, and it does make it perfectly fine through the mail. Now, I've pulled out some images. I thought I was going to use these images from a book that's called Dis-moi pourquoi. And it's a French book, and I just saw it. I love the imagery, and I thought that would be very cool on this. And I wanted to use some painty paper, and the one I wanted to use, well, I didn't think it went so well with the images after all. So I pulled out this painty paper that I've been hoarding. You see this one as well, for some of my videos I use this, but I also use this to do the background of my YouTube, like the big banner, I think. I'm not sure anymore, but I've also used it for my Facebook page, and I love this background. I really love it. But it's time I use it, and so I figured this would be a good time to use it. So I'm just gonna be gluing my postcard down to the paper and then cutting around it, and try not to waste that painty paper, because like I said, I love it, and I only got so much, and I'd like all 4 cards to be made with the same paper. So I'm just gonna start. I'm not sure how long it takes me to make those 4 postcards, so we'll see if 30 minutes is it, or if I actually have more time left. That'd be interesting. So what have you guys been up to? Have you and by the way, my desk is still clean, so yes, yay me, I've done it. I'm quite proud of myself. So I'm gonna add some Fabrifix, just because I want the corners to be well stuck down, because obviously if it goes through the mail, you don't want it to rip. Now I'm going to put some on my Soho tape, just because it's going to give me a little bit of leeway in case I don't like how I've put it down. Here. Okay, so that should be plenty. I'm just gonna, I don't want to go too much on the edge here, because I can see that there's a little part that's lifted. So okay, so we've got one. I think we'll be just fine to do the 4. Yeah, I'm gonna have to, I'm not sure that I can, yeah, it won't fit on here, or would it if I lift this up? So this is just a recycled envelope that I had opened up and used paints and collage elements on. It might have to trim it just a tad, but I think it would fit. And this way I would have more painty paper left. Okay, so I think that's going to be, and yes, it's only painty paper, but I really, really love how that one turned out. So, yeah. It's time to use it up, but I know that whenever I scanned it, so I could reprint it, but it's not the same. It doesn't give the texture, doesn't give the same, quite the same feeling. Like it's still nice, but, and it's good to use for my backgrounds of stuff, but yeah, not quite the same. Okay, so I just put it on my painty paper by accident. Wipe it off. So that's the long process, and then so I really like using old vintage books for imagery. I just find it makes some very cool postcards. But you could use whatever you want. You could stamp images. You could use magazine images. It really, like, your imagination is the limit that you have on this. Sure that I've got a proper coverage, because like I said, if these are mailed out, then they have to be able to stick together. So okay, so I've got those three ready. Just cut around them. I really love how this turns out. Isn't it pretty? And then you can always, glue further the edge if you think it's going to lift. Like I'm going to just put a dab here so that it glues while I'm finishing off doing the rest. Okay, so one down. And it's got a funny texture because on some parts it's thinner than other parts of the paper because I collaged some items on top. So it's kind of weird to cut through it. Okay, so here we go. And then cut through this one. And it just made it. Yay. I'm going to trim the edge just a tad, but I really like it's not even noticeable really. Okay, so this piece I can keep. This I'm going to throw away. This one I can always salvage for something else. And here's my cutter. We're just going to trim this a slight little bit. And my guillotine is on its last legs. I've tried the aluminum paper, but it's not making it sharper. So, oh well, it's given me a lot of cutting time. So, okay, so we said this one. I think it's too short. Yeah, it's a bit too short. So it's gonna have to go on this paper. So just put this. So I know some of you have done postcards because I received a beautiful one from Robin, and I got another one, and I'm so sorry, I'm forgetting the name, but it was her first card ever, first postcard ever too, and it was gorgeous. So it's a great it's really fun to send in the mail, and it doesn't cost much because obviously it's not expensive to it's not like sending a package. So which is why I'm asking you guys to do that, to participate for the big prize, because I know it's not going to be super expensive to mail, and I want to see what you guys do. So, and I can include those into my journals. So I'm very much looking forward to this. Okay, so one last one, then we're good to put the top. So as you can see, like, it's really inexpensive because I've used recycled cardboard, and this is an envelope, a security envelope that I've painted on. Could be anything that you've painted on, and just, you know, put collage of whatever was on my desk, I think, at the time. So basically it's a very cheap way of making something very personal. Okay, so we've got all 4 cards prepped and ready to go. Now I just need to prep my images, and I think I want them kind of not perfect. And I'm still trying to not ruin what's beside it, because I think, I'm not sure yet, but I think this could be cute as the phrase to go with the image. And I'm thinking of sending these to putting these in my Etsy store, And so I was thinking that maybe I could include the little definition with it just for the fun of it. So whoever would purchase these would have that added little thing. Okay, so there we go for 2. Now, of course, I don't want just that. I'd like to have some sort of other collage element on this. Like that. And then so the question that's being asked here is, pourquoi le nez du lapin bouge-t-il? So why does the rabbit nose? Okay, so my memory card was full. I had to change it. So I'm not sure if you heard the last bit. So I was saying that what it says is, pourquoi le nez du lapin bouge-t-il? So why does the rabbit's nose move? And talking of rabbits, I'm thinking that I'd like this to pop a bit more. I don't know if I want this color. I want black. I think I'm gonna go with black. So okay, so move this aside. I've got my black distress ink. Just gonna lightly do this. So yeah, I'm gonna be putting these in my Etsy store because right now I have none left. And I thought if I was making them, it could be fun to make them on camera with you and then to put them in the store. So you see exactly what has been done. So just making sure that all the edges are going to be safe. Okay, and still gonna line those up with this. So I'm gonna use my squon tape. Just trying to fold it under. Okay, so here we go. And okay, so here we go. So I think it's a very cute little card, and and basically it could be sent out, and and then what would be cute is you send this out and then you send the answer in a following letter. I'm thinking that maybe I should do that for some, make more and do that, send them out that way. Just grunge it up a bit. So that's the first one, and I really love how it turned out. So hopefully the other ones are going to be just as nice. So obviously I don't want them all to be the same, so let's do this way. I like them to be kind of individual, but I want a bigger page. I want it sideways, and I can't tear paper for the life of me. Definitely not straight. Okay, so maybe something like this. Before I was going to glue it together, but I want to put the sentiment first to see how it's going to look. Because I think that one is a bigger sentiment. So, and then this one says, pourquoi les moutons vont-ils dans la montagne en été? So why do sheep go in the mountain in the summertime? Good question. And I don't want to say the answer because it could be fun for, it's going to be an incentive for somebody to get the postcards. Of course you can Google it up too, but not the same. Pourquoi les moutons vont-ils dans la montagne en été? Yeah, I think that's going to be pretty. So put this down. And I like that I chose 4 images that have to do with animals. I like my postcard, if I'm gonna sell them, to have some sort of a theme. Don't really know why. I just do. I cut it very thin. I think I'm going to glue it with a glue stick. And hopefully not good glue everywhere. So it's definitely gonna take more than 30 minutes to make these cards, because we're already 6 minutes. There's only 6 minutes left. Of course, I could have glued the paper down without you guys, but I kind of like you guys to see how long it actually takes me to do stuff, because sometimes when you don't see it lifetime, you think that it takes less time than it actually does, and I can't really tell you how much time I've spent afterwards. Like, I kind of lose track of the time when I'm creating. So this is a good way of making sure that you guys know how much time it takes, and you don't get discouraged when you do make stuff and it takes a while to make. So this is the second card. Let's go and make the other two. So do the same thing. Tear it off gently. And try not to damage the text beside it. Okay, so here we go. So these are my two cows. Could do it this way. And then got this here. I want the thing to be a bit different. Okay, so so like that. Oh, I just realized that I forgot to do this. So here, back to where I was. And yes, of course, I don't have to edge everything, but I just like the look that it gives. That owl would have been really cute as well, but unfortunately you can't keep both images, so had to choose, and this one fitted more with what I was going for. So this sentence is Pourquoi la vache mange-t-elle toujours? So why is the cow always chewing? These are very interesting questions, and must have been a really fun book as a child to read. I'm not sure though that I was really questioning that sort of thing as a child, even though I lived in the country. I don't know. Well, first of all, we don't have sheep that just go up the mountains here. I would think that, I don't know where that would be except in Europe, but definitely not here. So that's one question that for sure I wouldn't have asked. I might have been curious about the rabbit nose, because we used to have rabbits. And cows, well, there was cows all around where I used to live, but I don't know. I don't remember being curious about why they would look like they were chewing all the time. So we've hit the 30-minute mark, and I still have one full one to do. I have to edge this one. So I would suspect that it's probably going to take me another 5 minutes. Whoa. There we go. Whoops. So that's the next one, and let's do the final one. Oh, I'm gonna pause my video 2 seconds because my husband has arrived. Okay, so it was my husband, and so yeah, when they come in, they yell that the groceries has arrived, because I'm lucky he does the grocery. It's also a time for him to practice my son's driving before he does his exam, and I'm way too nervous to do that with my son. Second of all, it always costs more when I do the groceries than when my husband does it. I don't know if it happens to you, but I always end up buying more items. But this being said, often when my husband does it, we end up having to go, well, I end up having to go during the week because there's items that are missing. So yeah, let's we each have our own positives and negative, you could say. So I'm really happy that I purchased this book. I think it has really fabulous images, and I'm going to get a lot out of it, because I really love to use vintage images of this kind. Not too fond of this one. but the other one is pretty cute on the other side, so I think I will use that one instead. Kind of sad that the well, no, because I wouldn't have been able to keep the wording. So I was gonna say if the owl had been, but if the owl had been at the bottom, then I would have been fine. So kind of sad that it wasn't, because then I could have had more images out of that page, but oh well. Okay, so I'm almost finished. There we go. Okay, so just do the back, and I've put that I'm the one who made them at the bottom here. So this is the last one. So we've made 4 cards in a little bit more than half an hour, but I think it was worth it. I think they're very pretty. And so like I said, in the description box below there will be a link to those that are going to be in my Etsy store, and I'm going to be including these little blurbs with them so that whoever is getting them will have the answer to the puzzle. So yeah, that's it. Bye everyone.